The Red Meat Industry Services officially launched its Field to Future project aimed at the alignment of research, development and implementation efforts. The end goal is to achieve the South African red meat sector's 2030 growth ambitions. We've invited Dr. Phillip Oosthuizen to tell us more. Phillip, yes, just remind our viewers again of the industry's 2030 growth ambitions.
Yes, thank you very much. It's a big ambition for 2030, and I think it's important to realize that it's aligned with the government ambitions as well, with regards to the National Development Plan, the Agricultural Processing Plan, and so forth. And this is the industry's version. And I think the idea is to make it more relevant for industry and to make sure that there's actionable steps that we can take to get to our ambitions of 2030. There's a lot of interventions that needs to take place in the red meat industry, and I think this Field to Future process is exactly that, is to get to specific projects that can act as building blocks to get to the 2030 strategy. So there's a lot of interventions, a lot of ambitions and a lot of objectives that we have to reach in order to get the entire red meat value chain to the next level, so to speak. And I think this is the process to go with regards to that. So big things with regards to the 2030 strategy is increasing the exports from the current 4% to 20%, increasing the profitability and sustainability of the entire industry. I know it's a big way of looking at it, but we have to focus on many milestones and many projects in order for us to get to a bigger milestone for 2030.
So this specific Field to Future project, tell us about that.
So the idea of Field to Future is really to get the sort of needs analysis or the gap analysis from ground level up, is to make sure that we allocate the funding to the correct projects, and also to make sure that the projects is packaged in a way that it can be implemented in the industry and it can actually add value to the industry. The biggest objective of Field to Future is to actually to marry to a great extent the researchers or the academic world with the industry. And that's something that was lagging for the past 30 years. Is we've got strong academics and we've got brilliant academics in South Africa all over, with all the universities and expertise that we have, but it's to a great extent it's pure research, it's empirical research, and it's not necessarily in a way packaged in a way that industry can actually use it to make money. And if you make money, it's more profitable, more sustainable, and that's the way to get to the 2030 strategy. So that's the whole idea, is to marry the two and to get them together to say this is the needs, and industry needs to actually say what the needs are. To make sure that we can actually get the projects aligned with the needs of the industry, and that's throughout the entire red meat value chain. So that's the idea. If you go through the process now, you'll understand that we want to actually get the two industries closer to one another and to make sure that we do the correct research and that we can plug and play it to enhance the industry.
Now, these growth ambitions you referred to earlier, how will this project aid to it as such?
Well, that's the whole idea. So the idea is to have different focus area groups. There's a lot of interventions. It's from small-scale farmers, what needs to happen, small-scale farmers, to get them into the commercial sector, to enhance their productivity and so forth, which is a major focus. But it's all the way up until meat safety, meat quality, and consumer assurance, the preferences of consumers, and everything in between. Something like animal health and so forth. So it's really a wide spectrum of ideas and topics and projects that we have to look at and to enhance everything. The idea is to make sure that we prioritize the projects correctly, and sort of the ideas as well, and what needs to happen this year and what can stand over for next year and so forth. So that's the whole idea, is to make sure that we prioritize what needs to happen today. Something like foot and mouth disease is currently a very big problem, not only on farm level and in the feedlots, but for the export market as well. And one of our ambitions is to increase the export market. And currently, one of the biggest problems is F&D. So a lot of the funding and a lot of the focus needs to go into F&D, for example, in year one, which is this year or next year. Hopefully, that won't be too much of a problem in year 3 and 4, and then we can go on to other projects with regards to that. I think the whole idea is just to focus energy, time, and money on specific projects and specific needs for now, and then to move over to other projects in future.
Phillip, RMIS activated 8 thematic focus area groups. Tell us about these groups.
Yeah, so the whole idea of the groups is to focus the attention as well, is to make sure that we have the correct people, the knowledge and the expertise to make sure that we do the prioritization correctly with regards to, as I said, it's a diverse a diverse list of topics that we'll get, and the needs analysis is a very long list, things that needs to happen, is also to assist RMIS. I mean, we can't decide what is important, what's not important. We need to facilitate this, but we need all the expertise all over South Africa from the researchers as well as from the industry guys to tell us and to help us to prioritize this. It's still our from a statutory point of view, it's still our responsibility to package these projects, to implement them, to take them from ground level up, and to make sure that the necessary funding is available for it. But we need these focus groups to really focus, it's in the word, to focus on what they know with regards to it. I can quickly name them. So the first one is animal health, biosecurity and traceability. So that makes sense in a sort of a veterinarian point of view with the biosecurity and the animal health status. The other one is public health, which is food safety at the end of the day, and the consumers, which makes sense in that regard. Then we've got sustainability, which is a big thing, but it's specifically with regards to the environment. So social and environment, to make sure that we cover that part as well. Then we've got competitiveness, which is most probably the biggest one, and that's everything from genetics to meat quality to nutrition, grazing, whatever it might be. So I think there's a lot of opportunities there. Then market access might be one of the biggest things, taking the small scale farmers and actually getting them into the commercial value chain, not only for transformation purposes, which is also the correct thing to do, and we are doing it, but it's also we need to create capacity in the commercial value chain, and the informal sector is the way to go. All the capacity lies in the informal sectors with all the challenges, and we need to break down all those challenges and the barriers to entry for the commercial value chain to get them into the commercial value chain with regards to that. And then inclusive growth is always a big thing, so developing small-scale farmers. We've got big projects running in that direction. As I said, it's not only for transformation purposes, which is the right thing to do, but it's also sort of the joker and the real opportunity for growth for the entire value chain from a commercial point of view. The last two, which I really like, is the innovation part from a technology point of view, which is pure hardware and software. Development with regards to that, getting into algorithms and AI and stuff like that. Data, not necessarily driven for this year, but we have to start thinking of this. There's a lot of data out there, just getting it on in the right platforms, and we have to start to use AI to a great extent. It's not something for the future, it's now, so that's really exciting. And the last one is sort of a joker in the package, in my opinion, is the change management part, which is more a psychological point of view. We are a lot of animal production and agricultural economists and veterinarians and so forth, and a lot of technology guys, but helping the farmers, small-scale farmers and all role players to actually the mindset of adopting technology, the new way of thinking about agriculture with regards to export markets, profit margins, which is under pressure and so forth. That change management is most probably the biggest challenge that we have. It's an unspoken challenge, but we created a focus group for that as well, to make sure that we do a project or two with regards to that, to assist the guys from the past 30 years, which was the status quo, and how we should change our minds and our mindsets to make sure that we are geared for the future.
Well, it's quite a bit, but it sounds like you've covered everything.
Cool.
Right, good. Who can become part of this Field to Future project?
Everyone, please. So that's the whole idea. This needs to be scalable. So the idea is not to have a structure behind it, without a doubt, within these focus groups, but there will be no limit on the amount of participants. That's the whole idea. I'm not saying it's a social group, but to a great extent it has to be a social group as well. Is to run around with ideas and to really focus on different ideas within a focus group. So the activation meetings will take place in the next month. It will be smaller groups, most probably, and hopefully that will grow over time as well. The idea is to give everybody a seat at the table, if I can put it like that. If you want to, from a veterinarian point of view, I know there's 160 private veterinarians looking after large stock all over South Africa. They report to RMIS on a monthly basis with regards to diseases. We need all of them in a group like this to help us, to tell us what the challenges are in different regions and provinces and so forth, and to prioritize it from that point of view. And exactly the same as in the other focus groups. So the idea is on the website, rms.co.za, there's an e-form to fill in to raise your hand to say which group you want to take part in and so forth, and hopefully as many people as possible. We really want to open this up.
So how often do these focus groups meet? Will it determine as we go along?
100%. So it's most probably going to be on a quarterly basis. For now, there's a lot of research money, or amount of research money that needs to go to pure R&D projects. So we would like to have this period of the next 2 months to run through it. But we're also going to use the exact same structure for the RMIS project portfolio that we have on an annual basis, which is bigger projects such as traceability and so forth, is to use the exact same structure and giving everybody's voice through a structured channel, so that we know that we're actually doing the right projects that can have a meaningful impact at the end of the day.
Well, it sounds world-class to me, Phillip. Thank you very much, Dr. Phillip Oosthuizen from the Red Meat Industry Services, telling us about a project called Field to Future. And if you need more information, rmis.co.za.